All right, thank you so much for staying with us. And of course, we still have our guest in the person of Toju, who is a model, of course, a content creator. Toju, you talked about representing your brand. What exactly does it mean when it comes to representing? Because I said, could it mean PR or what exactly is it?
Okay, so firstly, I don't wear stuff I'm not comfortable with. I'll start with that first.
Okay.
So representing it, you have to do with essentially putting the brand out there, making people like the brand. So which goes back to the point that I have to like it first. If I don't like it, if I'm not comfortable with it, I will not even, I'll just tell you, I'm sorry, because I have my own personal style. So if you bring for something that doesn't align with my style, I would reject it.
So let's try to narrow it down. Are you looking at the fashion area of life when it comes to what you're not comfortable with, or some other lifestyle? Perhaps if you were to model for, say, a tobacco brand.
Okay.
So what would be your reaction to it? Let's look at it from both ends, from the fashion aspect and of course from other lifestyle.
Okay, so from the fashion aspect, a tobacco brand. I mean, yeah, I would do it. So that's from the fashion aspect. Then from my own personal lifestyle, I don't smoke.
Okay.
But I probably would still do it because it's all marketing. It won't catch me personally smoking a cigarette, but I'll just put it out there. I'll just go for it since it's content.
So what exactly are you not comfortable with then?
When
you say you wouldn't catch me smoking, but then you're already on set doing that for a brand.
Yes.
So how do you place not being comfortable with something and not catching me doing something?
So not being comfortable with was more in the sense of fashion because I do not like skinny jeans.
Okay.
I'm very strict with that. I will not model for a brand that wants me to wear a very, very fitted pair of trousers. No, I would not.
Does it have to do with your fate? Or
yes,
is it just a personal?
It's a personal thing. So my own sense of fashion is more of like the free trousers, free clothes, free shirts. So, and corporate trousers in particular, well fitted, not fitted per se, but like fitted to an extent, gaitered. I don't know if you know, it's very sharp gaitered, yeah. Then the jeans, baggy. None of them is ever slim. Okay,
so when a brand approaches you and you know that's what they do mostly, are you going to decline it?
Yes, I will. I'm very strict on that. Like when it comes to fashion, like fashion in particular, I'm heavily strict on that. I will decline it.
Wow. So how are you able to carve your niche, especially looking at it from the fact that you are more of a selective or picky kind of person? Let me put it that way. How are you able to, you know, go through that kind of ordeal, especially looking at it from your kind of nature? Because some persons will do anything as long as it makes one's brand move from one point to the other, and of course give them visibility at the same time.
So I learned that from my mom, actually. So when I was young growing up, my mom was the one who actually influenced my style of fashion.
When is she a fashionista?
No, she just knew how to get me good stuff.
Okay.
So I would wear it. She would get me like baggy jeans, nice pair of Teams, then a big t-shirt, like, no, not even a t-shirt, like a button-up shirt.
Okay.
So then I used to even hate it because all my friends would probably be in fitted clothes and I would just be the only one with like baggy pair of trousers and Teams. But when I grew older, I actually saw the beauty in the style she was actually getting for me. And she wasn't even getting it because, oh, this is the style I want him to like to follow. It was just more of, this will look good on him, this will look good on him. And yes, so I see myself actually like thanking her every single day. Like, you actually influenced my choice of outfits and my style.
Wow, so it's more of a background thing than a personal issue.
Yeah.
All right, now, so away from your personal life, let's go deeper into the business aspect of it. So how profitable is the modeling, career that you've chosen for yourself?
I won't say it's very profitable. I won't say it's not profitable too.
Okay.
So it depends on the brand you're working with. Some brands pay well, some pay okay. Some will want to tell you that, oh, okay, just do a shoot for me and you get the clothes free.
No monetary attachment.
Yes, just like you get the clothes free. You get if you do like if it's, for instance, I'm going to do a shoot where I wear like 5 outfits, 5 different outfits,
Yeah.
and they'll be like, oh, you get the clothes free, and while in the different these things have changed, man. The economy has changed, man. You can't bribe me with free clothes. Like there has to be something monetary attached to it.
Yeah.
If you're going to give me the free clothes, you also have to give me like you also have to pay me. Yeah, so I mean back then when I started, like way back then when I started, yes, I'll get the free clothes. I'll take the free clothes because I was just starting and it's free clothes to also push myself.
So how do you but by the way, how long do you say you've been in this industry?
2019.
Since 2019. Wow, that's more up to like a decade or so, or thereabout.
In 2019, that's about 5 years.
Okay, 5 years around. Okay, so when you said when you started, you barely would want to take free clothes.
No. So when I started, I would take like free clothes because I didn't have a choice then.
Yeah, because you were just starting your career, you were just building your career. So right about now, if a brand walks up to you to say, okay, told you, can you do this for us? And at the end of the day, you go home with the clothes without any monetary attachment to it. Would you decline?
I would decline, yes.
Why?
One, like I said, economy has changed, man. Free clothes are not enough to bribe me. Secondly, I know my worth. I'm not going to do it's essentially a free shoot for you, because the fact you can leave the clothes but not pay me something tangible, it means that the clothes are probably not heavy. They're not the price of worth is not heavy. So you're just going to give me like free clothes and just like give me free clothes. We can lose this. We can afford to lose these clothes. And not so you don't want to pay me, but you want to lose the clothes. So it means that the clothes are not that expensive. Then that's what I just say that. And I also have a friend who he was the one who also told me that brands will want to take advantage of you by giving you the whole free clothes thing and not paying you.
So how are you able to negotiate that properly when you know that they would want to take advantage of you?
Just tell them up front. I just tell them up front, what is the pay? Like the moment we even like you want to even strike a deal with me, after we even I get a hold of what you want me to do, the next question I ask you is how much is the pay?
Are you the one who do the negotiation?
No, my manager does.
Okay, so talk to us some of these intricacies that come with this kind of industry where you are in.
Well, the whole free clothes, and that's just the major thing. And again, sometimes there's one thing that is also can be quite frustrating, which is most of the time when you go on set, they are never ready.
How do you mean they're never ready?
Not this whole Nigerian time thing.
Okay, African time.
Yeah, African time, yeah.
Okay.
You get there by like 10. A shoot that's just supposed to last for like probably 40 minutes max. Because if it's, let's just say for instance, taking pictures for 10 outfits.
Okay.
When I'm done with the first set, next set. Okay. So it shouldn't even take up to even 40 minutes in reality, but you get there and the things are not ready. The camera guy is not there. The stand is not there. The backdrop is not available. Sometimes the clothes are not even available. Most times, if it's 10 feet, you only have like 6 feet there.
Wow. So how are you able to, how do I call it? How do I put it? How are you able to address this issue? Because it's spelled out in the contract, right? That, okay, for instance, you're starting at this social time. So at this social time, you'll be done. And when you get there, nothing is on ground. So how are you able to negotiate that or renegotiate that? So
since it's a contract, there's a time frame. If I come when you're not ready, it's not really my problem. It's more of your problem. If at the end of the day, if the shoot is going to be from 8 to 10, it's not ready, we're still there by 9, it's not ready, and you get ready by 9:30. Once it's 10, I'm going. Even if it's just one outfit I could take. And I will still take my money because it wasn't my fault, but your fault.
Have you had a very funny experience of that nature?
Yes,
of clients not keeping to time?
Yes, it was one time, and they tried with the whole pleading thing and all. And well, I'm someone who tends to listen to people, so it was, I think, supposed to be like 5 feet, but when I got there, the whole delay and everything, I could only take 3. And I was even being generous because I even had to still give them, okay, sure, I would just wait like an extra 1 hour. So yeah.
Wow. So talk to us about more of content creation. Yeah.
So the whole content creating, I think I started heavy on the content creating during the pandemic period, which was relating to fashion as well. The whole outfit changing, the monochrome. There was this monochrome trend that was going on. The trends where you use a song and you change your outfits with the song and all of that. So that was where I actually started from.
Okay.
When it came to that, and over the years I grew, and sometimes I'll look back at my first content and I'm like, I can't believe I did this.
Wow.
But I mean, this is the beginning phase. So, but then later on, I switched to anime.
Okay.
Yeah, so I switched to making anime content and gaming content.
So why did you switch from what you started with to anime?
So I've always had, anime has always been my thing.
Okay.
So it was also part of it, fashion and anime. So when I got the chance to actually go into anime, I grabbed it immediately.
Has it been very profitable so far?
Oh yes, it has.
Okay. So talk to us about it.
So in terms of anime, when you create content creating for anime is essentially like being an influencer, just not in the fashion, but more of anime. So anime events, when they know you have a presence or they see you have a presence in the anime community, get called for events, get called to host events, just get called to turn up for events.
So for those who are watching you right about now, they might not have an idea as to what you mean by anime. Can you
Okay, so anime is
yeah.
Japanese animation, to be precise.
Okay.
Yes. Mostly people call them cartoons, but they are not cartoons. So very much different from the general cartoons, because they don't follow the whole toon logic.
Okay.
Something called toon logic. Anime doesn't follow that. Anime has its own niche. It's just very much different from normal cartoons or animation.
So talk to us about that particular niche you've carved yourself when it comes to content creation. What would you say? How would you rate that particular industry in the last 3, 4, 5 years? Do you think there's a future for it?
Yes. So the industry, 5 years ago, I would say no. There was nothing really heavy about anime in Nigeria. But currently, yeah, it's really, really heavy right now. It's really, really heavy. And in the future, it's going to be one of the biggest spaces in the whole of the country. And I mean biggest, I'm talking of like top 3, top 4. Because you have the anime fest that are even being held in Nigeria. Some of them are being televised in other countries. There was one that was held, I think last year, was televised on the French channel. And even another one too was all around Africa. So yes, very much.
So are there any of these events that you've been able to take advantage of?
Yeah, so the one I mostly do is Otaku Connect.
What do you call it?
Otaku Connect.
Okay, so talk to us about it.
So it's a yearly events where people call them weebs. Weebs are people who love a certain niche, nerdy niche. So you call them otakus. So people who love anime from across the country just come, chill, watch anime together, discuss anime, buy merch, and just have fun in general.
Okay, so are there certain mishaps or disadvantage that you've experienced within this particular space that you'd like to share? That you feel maybe it could be your learning point?
No, not really, because most anime events, they tend to get it right.
Okay.
So no, I wouldn't say. Maybe just 1 or 2 vendors didn't just show up. Apart from that, like, get it right, yes.
Okay, so how would you say, or rate social media in terms of its impact on what you're doing, because you're heavily on content creation? So how would you rate social media impact on what you've been doing so far?
Social media has actually been one of the major driving forces in pushing the anime community further in Nigeria, especially like apps like TikTok, where, because you have TikTok algorithm is literally, it's safe to say it's the best.
Really?
Because they give you like a boatload of variety of contents. And so once they see, okay, you watch this one where a guy's talking about anime, you finish the video. Tomorrow you might see another one again. Next tomorrow you might see another one again, and then you see yourself liking the content, and from there you are getting immersed into anime. I've known people who started watching anime just in few months back, and they absolutely love it. And this somebody will tell that, oh, I saw it on TikTok, I saw it on YouTube, or I saw this cool fight scene. And so yeah, the social media has really pushed it. It's pushed it much further than I even imagined.
So what's the acceptance like on your brand generally?
For the anime, right? In percentage, I would say 80. You still have those who don't accept it, who just no. There will be those people.
Sure.
Course. So I would say 80. As of last year, I would say 70. So it's increasing as the years go by.
What's the parameter for you to, judge that kind of increase?
When I go on like most social media platforms, apart from the fact that the algorithm just gives me like those kind of content, I see like brands or things totally unrelated to even anime hopping on the trend as well, hopping on the culture. So yeah, I mean, you even have situations like where phone cases, like a company that makes phones, they even like collab with some anime companies. You have shoe brands that do collab with some anime companies. So yeah, those are the things that will make me know, or make someone know that, okay, yes, this is beginning to become extremely accepted.
Okay, so talking about collaborations, do you have any collaborative project you have with a brand, or is it something currently, or is it something you're working on?
Okay, currently, the collab I currently have is with Otaku Connect for the anime, yes.
Okay, so far so good.
Yes.
How can you rate them?
I'll give them a 9.
Why?
Why? Because all the years I've been with them, they do tend to deliver in terms of literally every single aspect of an anime event. The games, the provisions that they set up there, and the whole event in general.
Okay, so looking at the future, would you say that if you're not doing modeling, if you're not doing content creation, what would you be doing? Because obviously one has to diversify.
Yes.
So Nigeria of today
music
is
production.
Not music production.
Yes.
Okay, more like a producer.
Yes.
Why?
Also do like music a lot. Rock to be precise.
Rock.
Yes, rock music to be precise.
But basically, rock is not a thing for us in Nigeria.
Yeah, it's not.
So how are you gonna do that when, obviously, you have to put bread on the table?
There's always a forerunner. There's always someone who's gonna like bring it out. And again, so the rock scene too is also steadily growing in Nigeria. It is steadily growing. I mean, nowadays I go on Instagram and I see Nigerian rock bands. I see Nigerian artists who have 1 or 2 rock songs. I mean, there was rock. Funny enough, there was rock back in like the mid-2000s in Nigeria. The rooftop MCs, a lot of them mid-2000s. There were these guys. So it was more of like the Linkin Park-esque, where they would mix rap and rock. So then, sort of like subsided. There was one last autograph. They all just like subsided, but right now, so most of the rock acts that I do know from Nigeria that I've seen of recent tend to not be based here, but it's still reaching here. Some of the Orte acts too, Santi, they are dabbling in the alternative area, because I think Santi's last album had some alternative tracks in it.
Okay, so if one is to look at that industry right now, I mean, talking about your content creation, what are some of the other opportunities one can, have on aside from content creation? So in that industry, the content creation is it's very broad. It's extremely broad. So everything will just content creating will encompass literally anything. Okay, so if One is to say, who are those, you know, that your target market, whom you're trying to, you know, reach with your content? Who are those within that sphere? Is it the youth? Is it the target audience of maybe about 40, 50? Or who are those that your content is getting across to?
So target audience will be will range from teens all the way up to people in the early 40s.
So what are you really doing or planning towards doing, especially to be able to serve them or feed them more with such kind of content?
You know, I feel we've reached a certain point where the whole ageism thing doesn't really, it's not as heavy as it used to be before. Like, for instance, now even most of these anime conventions, you see people who bring their kids there, and the parents themselves will cosplay. I'm talking of people like in their late 40s, early 50s. Like, they would dress up as anime characters coming there. So,
wow.
So the whole age limitation, I think that's beginning to subside in the industry now.
Okay, so you may want to share your handles with, you know, people who want to interact with you on social medias. You know, you can do that.
Okay, so my Instagram handle is Toju the Raijin with an underscore after it. Then for my anime page, it's Raijin Society, Raijin Society with an underscore after. Then my TikTok is Raijin Society without an underscore.
The first handle you gave was for Instagram, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so you've heard him say all the handles that you can interact with him on. Please just slide into his DM and show him some love. Do some, you know, collaborations with him, and of course, refer him to other clients who, you know, might need what he's doing. He needs that engagement. Thank you so much, Toju, for giving us your time today.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciate it. All right, the program continues shortly after this time. We'll be bringing you more guests. Please do stay with us.